Hi everyone, this is Sarah from Mindscape Psychology in Leichhardt in Sydney, and I wanted to share with you another resource which is probably one of the most commonly used resources in my practice. It's probably my favorite resource, so I use it all the time with so many of my clients. It's a resource called values cards. Now these ones that I have are from The Happiness Trap, which is a book by Russ Harris. Russ Harris is one of the main proponents of acceptance and commitment therapy in Australia. And he's written a whole bunch of books on acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. And I've done quite a lot of training with him in regards to ACT. And I use ACT quite extensively in my practice in Leichhardt. So I wanted to show you these cards. They are super cute. And the point of the cards is to help us identify and clarify what's important to us. So that each of the cards has a value on them, something that could be possibly important to us, and they have a little description of that value on each of the cards. And generally what I ask people to do in my practice with them is get them to identify what are some of their values, what are the top 5 values that they have in a particular area of their lives. So it might be in their relationships or in their work or in general, in their future, in the kind of life that they want to be living. And we talk about the values that they have and the kinds of ways that they're able to embody their values. And what I mean by embody their values is describe how they demonstrate and show those values in their everyday existence, how they might show those values to other people, how they might show those values to themselves, which I think is something that a lot of people find really tricky. And what I like to do with a lot of my clients as well is actually share some of my values and why I think working on values is so important. And the card that I always pick out is authenticity, because I truly believe that it is important to be who you are, to be seen for who you are, and to be able to accept your true nature and be true to yourself. Because I think that if we can't be ourselves, then who are we trying to be? Who are we trying to please? Whose expectations are we trying to live up to? So being able to clarify what is important to us can then help us to decide on what kind of actions we're going to be taking in our lives, in our work, in our relationships, in various places in our lives. Now, we also know that acting on our values can actually be really challenging sometimes. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy to do something that is really super important to us. And sometimes when we do those things, it can have, or maybe we perceive that it has, some negative consequences. Sometimes it can bring up really difficult emotions, or we might believe, or it might actually cause conflict or friction in some of our relationships. And so what the cards also gives us are things like, what do we need to make room for? What do we need to allow to exist in our lives? What do we need to expand around in order to be able to live that value? And what are the kinds of obstacles that we're likely to encounter if we were to live or demonstrate that value? So these are the kinds of things that we chat about in sessions where we're talking about clarifying our values, and in order to live the kinds of lives that we want to live and to be the kinds of people that we want to be. So if you'd like to find out more about values, if you'd like to find out more or even clarify what some of your values might be, leave a comment or click on the link to our website. Drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.